So this is my Bulma Savage Burn deck. So I want to test out the Untap app. This was a moment where I forgot to skip a couple steps, where I forgot to put my life. I drew my card, mulligan, did all the usual, but forgot to put my 8 cards in my life. So that was awkward. So I had to take a couple moves back and correct myself. But here I'm swinging with Bulma for double strike. Let me try to skip a couple steps because this duel takes like about an hour. You see some magic gameplay at the top. So let's listen to magic, because there's no audio in the on tab. It's all quiet. It's all click, 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 right? So I needed some type of entertainment while I was playing the game. It's not saying much of anything. It's like I have to guess most of what they're trying to do and what they're, I'm mainly focused on attacks. So that's what I look for, attacks. Effects wise, I tend to ignore, just because it's like, yeah, I'm just trying to play my turns, trying to get to a certain strategy. So I'm just focusing on attacks. So unless an effect is like detrimental, like a card effect that destroys my units on a battle card or something, then that's important. But if it's just an effect where my opponent draws a card or something like that, I don't care. Or if it boosts their power of their creature, or they search something, whatever they do, as long as it's like, for example, that card right there, that Broly, it's like, alright, not that big of a deal, not much of a threat there. The unison and the leader, I gotta deal with. I do have there's some issues with the untapping. It's hard to untap cards in this app. I don't know where the proper untapping, because you see right there, there's not much options there to untap. Like, it has the ability to tap and to reverse the cards and stuff like that, but not to untap. But anyway, I was able to get my Goku out there, get rid of the battle card. I was thinking of paying 2 to get rid of it, but it's like that'd be one less body. It's like I'm better off playing the Goku, so I can get rid of his 1-drop in case he needs as an evolved target or something. I think, yeah, it has an effect that has something to do with extra cards. So I just got rid of it just in case, just so it didn't become a problem later on, right? And then put up an extra blocker, but I used it to swing instead. If you look at it far top, you'll see the number 5. My opponent currently has 5 life. I currently have 6. So I took 2 damage so far. My opponent's currently on turn 4 because they have 4 energy. I don't know what I'm saying. My opponent's currently on turn 3. Right. 1, 2, 3. I was looking at the wrong number. He has 3 energy. He's playing. Oh yeah, he's going to be his 4th turn, right? Oh no, it is his turn. He's attacking. I guess he was just showing the card or something. I don't know. Don't know what he's really doing. Like, I don't know the effects of all these cards. These are the new Broly stuff, so I'm not really aware of everything it can do. I just know a lot of the cards are like once per turn, because they got limit 1, so you can only use 1 copy of each card per turn. So that I know, but don't know much else of what it's doing. Obviously, a lot of the effects help boost the attack of your Brolys, your leader, and stuff like that, so it can hit high numbers. So that's the whole idea. Is that you're mainly focusing on the leader. So see, I highlighted some of the cards so that you can see he's super comboing. He clearly has sparking 5. He has 7 cards in the drop, so he's 30k, double strike crit. I'm gonna believe him. I'm not sure if he actually has crit. That wasn't really reading the effects of the cards. I was just showing what they are so y'all can see it. So I was like, alright, I'll take the 2 hits. Take the crits. But so far, all I have to contend with is just those attacks. Obviously, I should have kept my blockers up and used them to block. From right that Videl was in active mode. He must use an effect to tap it down. But if I had my Kaioken Goku in active mode, I would have had a blocker there. So I have stuff to defend with. It's just a matter of using it for that purpose. So now I'm down to 4 lives, which allows me to awaken. I am currently on turn 4. So that right there opens up possibilities. If I had the lightning fast hit combo right now, I'll be able to pull it off, be able to get 25k double strike, and burn my opponent for 2, so my opponent will be at 3. Getting a 25k double strike swung to his face, and he's tapped out. So right now will be a great time for like big attack. He has a pretty thick hand. It's hard for you to see it, but probably got like 20 plus cards in his hand. His hand does look really thick. Let's see, using my effects so that I can draw. I got my ultimates in my hand. So I'm gonna flip the card over so that way I can be back at 4 energy. And then I'll use my leader's ability to draw 2. Let's see, do I get that, or did I already do that part? I go in for the 30k double strike. So that's what I'm going with, 30k double strike. One is played a super combo and 5k, so that's I don't think it's Leader's Awakening. This is Leader Awakening. Yes. Okay, this Leader's not awakening, I guess. So the point is he's trying to get to 35k so he can stop that attack. With all those cards in his hand, clearly that wouldn't be difficult. 1, 2, 3, 4. So he used 4 cards in his hand to stop that 30k double strike. And of course, having trouble. The app is lagging, so I have trouble putting stuff in the drop. Then I play another Yamcha, so that I can draw 2 cards at the end of my turn, since I used 2 cards in my hands just to try to do 30k double strike. Then plus I want to have another blocker up, and then I swing with my goal. Okay, so my goal is obviously I'm trying to get him down because it's already turn 4 and my opponent's still at 4 life, so it's like, yeah, I gotta get them down lower life. Because if I'm right, I tried to double strike him with Videl earlier, which was an epic fail because I forgot Videl is not a 5k, she's a 1k. That makes a huge difference to how much damage I can do. So let's see what else. Alright, so I got currently one blocker. I got Violent Rays, so that's good. I mean, I have also Videl. I can negate an attack and put up a blocker. I think I go with the Violent Rays route. Currently at 4. But I should have, I should do in that scenario. I mean, Violent Rays is good at all, but that's a waste of resources. What I should have done is go the Videl route, negate an attack, put up a blocker, and have the blocker to block, and then take a life to play my my testing the opposition to negate an attack and have another blocker if I have to stop 4 attacks this turn. So I'm expecting him to play a battle card. Because right now all he has is leader in unison, so he's not doing much of anything. Checking to see what he's doing. Did he attack yet or whatnot? It's like I'm waiting for something. He finally plays something. And it's his 6-drop Broly. It has certain effects. So there it is. One of its abilities is that it ignores barriers and gives minus 35k to a battle card. How he triggers that effect, I don't know. If you pause the video and read the card, you know how he does it. Now he's awakened. So yes, earlier he was not awakened, so he had to do extra to out combo my 30k double strike earlier. But now he's awakened. He's swinging with his battle card. I know his battle card has the ability to activate his effect, an active battle ability. I think it's active battle, right? Active battle, active thing, one of the two. And restand his Broly so that his 6-drop so he can attack a bit more at once. I think I'm going violent raise here. Like I said, I could have went Videl instead, because then I would have 2 blockers and I would be able to stop his unison and leader swing. And if for some reason he had an extra swing, I can just or 2 more swings hypothetically, right? I can stop battle cards. I was thinking of changing to unison, so but the unison has 15k power, so it'd be pointless to say unison. So now I'll just stay with battle cards. This should prevent any more battle cards from attacking for the rest of the turn, including his 6-drop. If he restands it, shouldn't be able to attack. So obviously this effect is good against anything that has dual attack, triple attack. So then he swings with the unison. Still have the ability to block the attack with Videl. I think that's what I do. I use Videl to block it. And then all I have left is my leader swing. But I have the token generator. Oh, so I discarded Videl. Wait, what? Seems a little strange. Didn't I have 2 violent rays in my hands? Oh yeah, of course. Because I forgot I used one. Discarded Videl, and that's why I still have 1 violent rays in my hand. I'm like, wait, what? Didn't I have 2 violent rays? So I discarded Videl for the violent rays. But I could have used the Videl instead. The other possibility is that since I am a little bit aware of his 6-drop having a anti-barrier, anti-barrier hate effect, so he can obviously KO a battle card. I want to avoid him using the effect to KO, one of my blockers. So it just looks like he hasn't felt like triggering the effect. So now he attacks my Goku. I'm like, no response. It's like I don't care if you kill it because that's better for me. I'm trying to protect my life points. Obviously, I'm trying to save it because I want to use. So my plan right here is to play my Super Saiyan 3 Nappa to do 1 damage, right? Because my opponent, notice, is currently at 3 life. So do 1 damage through Nappa, get them down to 2. Then hopefully try to go for game with my it's between my 5-drop. It's between my 5-drop Savage Awakening Goku Ape or my Goku and Frieza card. So it's between those 2. I could play either one on turn 5. So the idea is that next turn I'm going to be on turn 4. So instead of playing my Frieza or my You see, he does some stuff and KOs my cards, which sucked, but whatever. And I accidentally threw my energy into the energy area. It's like, oh man, there's the touchscreen on the phone, the lag and stuff. Like, I'm trying to make things work here. Can't wait until we have a more proper system for this, for playing Dragon Ball Super. So he KOs my cards, KOs with an attack, KOs with effects, so he cleared my board. Alright. He cleared my board. He has 1 energy up and he has 3 life. So now it's my turn. So instead of tapping out, I go the Nappa route, because my deck is all mono red, so I go the Nappa route, so I can deal him 1 damage, but still have a 20k body on board. So I turn that unison into energy. Then I start having some issues with it. Obviously trying to get it to a mana. I should just leave it alone because it's like, alright, tap 1 and then just tap 3 more so I can play my Nappa, but I keep trying to mess with it, trying to get it organized. But you see, it's like most of the commands ain't working properly. It's like, how do I untap this thing? Revert, invert. Like, Jesus, I'm trying to put you upside down. Like, I'm trying to put you in the right position. So, the game is supposed to be, for some reason, it's not working right. So, I draw 2 cards for leader's ability. So, I have 4 damage in my hand. I have 4 battle cards that can do damage. But my opponent has 3 life, which means I only need to play. So, only 3 of them I need, right? I have 4 life, so if I can maintain that 4 life, I can use 2 of them lives to trigger my Apes ability. I can't wait until they create another battle card that's similar to Ape. I don't mind it being 5 drop. I just needed that I don't have to sacrifice 2 life to deal with my opponent 1 damage. I want it to be like, well, not exactly Nappa, because Nappa I got mono red. But I'll be okay if it's like Nappa and I have to play mono red in order to play the card. I'll work with that. Because essentially it's just another Nappa, right? Not a Nappa, but it's just a 5 drop on top of that. So now we can see how many cards he has in his hand. 13 cards in his hand. There's 13 cards left in his deck. I got 25 cards left in my deck. So clearly my opponent ran through his deck a lot. I have 7 cards in my hand, so you see, his hand's twice the size of mine. So trying to win through an attack is it's going to be nearly impossible. So I finally play the Nappa after all this, like all these technical issues. I finally played the Nappa. The difference between Nappa and the 5 drop Ape is that Ape has deflect, so it can't be like Godzilla, Trunks, or Cold Bloodless, or anything of that nature. That I can guarantee I play and guarantee I burn my opponent, pretty much go for game. So now my opponent's at 2 life because of Nappa, and Nappa's a 20k blocker, which, is good. Especially if I use it against the leader or unison swing. I got 1 energy up, and I got violent raise, and I still got the what's that card? The testing opposition in my hand. So I still have the ability to negate a good amount of attacks this on my opponent's turn, and get to turn 6. And hopefully still have 3 life. Because then what I can do is play my Ape. My giant, my Savage Ape, and deal my opponent 1 damage. It'd be nice if its effect wasn't hinged on my life points. I'm not really a fan of taking life. And if I might, the Ape crits the life, so I don't even get to add those 2 cards to my hand. Those 2 cards go to my draw, which sucks. It's like, damn, could at least give me card advantage if I'm going to sacrifice 2 life to deal 1 damage. Would have been extra nice is if it could, if the effect was I could take 2 life to do a damage, but not only once. I could do it as many times as I want. So if I had 5 life, I could potentially do 2 damage just by critting 4 life, right? That'd be kind of cool. but we'll see. So I go the Violent Rays route. So I'm trying to make sure he can't. So he swings with the Unison, and I get the Unison attack, and I make sure that he can't attack those battle cards, which is always good. Let's speed some of this up. He attacks with the leader, so I Nappa. So this should be good. I should still have life. And I should still have my 4 life. When it's my turn, and it looked like he did. I wasn't sure if he ended his turn because he said something like F or like fuck or something. So I just drew a reusable board wipe. And I got my Gohan, which can be a blocker plus he can board wipe, or at least minus 15k to all my opponent's battle cards, but my opponent's battle card currently is too strong. So there's no way of me getting rid of that battle card right now. I'm going to activate my leader's ability to draw 2 cards. So that should give me options. This is pretty good here. Like what I could do is, obviously after the fact was, because the thing is that he's at 2 life. I'm like, if I could play, he's untapped. So this is obviously the wrong play for this situation because he has 4 energy untapped. Clearly, none of my attacks was going to go through. Clearly, I was running the risk of, a counterplay and stuff like that because I don't have my Goku and Vegeta don't have deflect. My ape does, and I could play my ape right now for 5. Right, still have 1 energy up, and deal my opponent 1 damage and have a 25k blocker. So that's a route I could have went. But another route I could have went the Piccolo Jr. and Vegeta play, which could have bought me a turn. Because I will play the Piccolo Jr., use it to draw a card, which can always come in handy, especially if I draw like a Violent Rays or something, or a Topo would be nice. That would definitely buy me another turn. Because the idea is to save my life for my ape play. You can't go any lower than 3 life, then the ape is useless. Right now my opponent's at 2 life, so if I can play the ape and a Nappa, I got game. Or if I could play the ape and then play the Frieza, I got game. Right? So right now I played the Frieza, but I could have played the ape. Right? I could have played the ape, would have had a blocker. I would have, let me see, I would have been at 2 life, which means I could use 1 life to play the testing opposition, so I could negate essentially 3 attacks. And if my opponent manages a 4th attack, then I could have used the last energy to, no, I wouldn't, no, the energy is pointless, it's irrelevant, because the 2 cards, the Gohan and the Vegeta in my hand, I could have tried to out combo an attack. So that could have been a possibility. See, now here what happened was that he used his cards. Like I said, he had the ability to defend himself. He used this card, Frieza's Death Ball, which minus 10k from my battle card, I'm assuming. So he did 2 of them, so that's minus 20k. So I'm a 20k body right now. Of course, I can't combo because of my Frieza's ability. So I do have my dual attack, so I'm trying to restand. Now the thing is, let me skip a couple steps. The thing is that I attack again as a 20k. I should have stayed back. I should have stayed in active mode. That way I could be a 40k blocker. That way that way I have a blocker, right? So that way I can stop 1 attack with that. Use use 1 energy for the what's his name, the Great Ape, if I needed to out combo, like in case I need a 10k combo power, along with the Vegeta and Gohan, which would have gave me an extra 20k combo power in case I had a combo to protect my leader. And of course, I would use the 1 of my life to play the opposition, testing the opposition, so I can negate attack and play a blocker. So I could potentially stop 4 attacks if I did that, if I had him in active mode, right? Because trying to remember what happened right now. I think what happens is he attacked and KO'd me. Now, if I was in active mode, right? I don't know. I sent it to Warp to deal 1 damage because, you know, I can do that, right? And my opponent's unaware of the effect. See, but if I had it in active mode, I'll have it as a blocker. The thing is, the Goku and Vegeta have the effect that it can't be removed from the battle area by a skill. So the whole ignoring barrier thing means nothing when it comes to the 6-drop. Because I'm capable of negating. I mean, I'm unaffected by effects that would try to KO me. You know, right? So, or am I wrong? No, no. Technically, I have indestructible. Technically, right? But if I'm right, his effect does minus 35k. Oh well, but it does 35k. I'm at 40k, so I would survive the effect. So either way, I'll stay on the field. But so I don't want to say the wrong thing. Is that I would, if I was a 35k, I would die just because my power was reduced to 0, and I would normally die just by game mechanics. Even if I was indestructible, you know, so be it. Unless I'm wrong, and I do have my Goku and Vegeta. My Goku and Frieza are immune to that. So even if my power hits 0, I won't die. But I'm assuming that I do. So let's go with that. But 40k, right? The idea was that if I kept this on the field and it was an active mode, it would be a 40k blocker. Even if it lost 35k and be a 5k blocker, it's still a blocker. The whole idea is for it to block an attack. Granted, I will lose the ability to use it to do 1 damage to my opponent, but I could still do the 1 damage the following turn with the 8. Now, obviously, I went with the whole. I was hoping that my attack go through, you know, hopeful, right? Hoping, even though he had untapped energy and 13 cards in his hand, hoping that maybe I get lucky and go through, or at least make him waste a lot of cards in his hand, one of the two. But that's why I went with the second swing. I'm like, you know what, screw it. I'll go with the second swing and try to deal the 1 damage anyway. Because the goal is to get him to 1 and then use the leader's ability. So I felt that my opponent might not know what my Goku and Frieza effect was. I probably didn't know that I can burn them from 1. Because pretty sure, because it felt like, yeah, he or she was just defending just because they could out combo the attack with their effects. They did it. It wasn't because they knew what I was trying to do. That's why they were unaware that once I warped it to, you know, or removed it from the game to deal 1 damage, was unaware that I had the ability because they didn't see that that's what I was aiming for, was to get them down to 1 so I can burn them for game. So, as you can see, I still ended up using my ability to negate attack, made a token, used it to block. Now, here's the thing. I didn't notice that there's 2 Brolys. You notice there's one hiding right under the other one and behind Unison, which is weird because it's like there's so much space that my opponent didn't have to stack, you know, bunch all these cards. Why are all his cards all in one spot? You see, all my cards are spread out. So this was a little misleading right here. So I'm unaware of the fact that he has another battle card, because I would have made different plays if he had would have made different decisions if I knew that my opponent had 2 6-drop Brolys in play. It's like, wait, how did that X1 come from? So this caused a little bit of a issue, because it's like, wait a minute, didn't you already attack with a Broly twice? Of course, one, I stopped the 2 Broly attacks and stuff like that. So right now, all I had to contend with was a leader swing, which I was hoping to be able to try to out combo, because I could get my leader up to 30k with what's in my hand. I'll get my leader up to 30 and potentially you know, save this 3 life. Remember, I'm trying to play my grade 8 next turn, so I could crit 2 life and deal my opponent 1 damage and gain. So I just got survived this turn, and then I got game. But it turns out that he had an extra Broly that I was unaware of. And I'm like, what is he talking about? 45, double strike crit, 45k double strike crit. It's like, a little confused. Like, didn't you already attack? And so I still take the hit though. I'm like, all right, whatever. I'm not going to argue with the situation. It's like, okay, it's strange that you had the ability to, 45k double strike me. I don't know. That's what I was surprised that he was able to, to do this. It was after this. It's when he did it again. It's when it was when he did this. I'm like, damn, he got me the 45k double strike. So now I can't play my ape. All right. Well, all I have to do is survive the leader swing. Right. Let's go back to that. Look a little weird. Just happened. See, this was covering it. See, you see how like there's two Brolys there, and we all saw that it was the one was in rest mode when you actually look at the footage again. It was in rest mode, but it's also hiding behind the other one, right? Like when you see it here in this image, it kind of looks like just one card. It looks like 1, 2, 3, a leader, a unison, and one battle card. But apparently there was another one there. Because once it starts moving around, you start seeing that there is another one. But then suddenly it's in active mode. You see how it's rest mode and take damage, and then now he's like, and then I'm like, active mode can only be done once for the card, but I thought he only had one, and then it turns out he had another one. It's like, wait, where did the second one come from? So I was like, all right, whatever, GG. Yeah. Apparently I wasn't paying attention to the fact that he had two Brolys. I want to go back, because when did he get that second one, right? Like, see it right there. I can see that. See, there's only like one. So let's see. When did he play the second one? See, he attacked. Remember, I negated it. Oh, there we go. Back for a second. Okay, that's when he attacked. Well, let's just let that play out. I did that. Negated attack. Air token to block. So just waiting for his secondary attack with, with okay, so I'm expecting him to attack with his unison. So I stopped his attack. He's tapping. Okay, so that's when he played the second one. But since he played it directly on top of his other one, it kind of looked like more like he restood it than, when I first was playing, it looked like he restood it. But notice that it's right on top of it. Like, why is it directly on top of it? Then you notice it's like, yeah, that one's in rest mode, this one's in active mode. So why do later on, suddenly, he's swinging, right? Just want to take the hit, but then suddenly they're both back in active mode. And then he's talking about attacking with them. Look, he attacks with one, then he's talking about he's going to attack with the other one. And I was like, wait, what? Where, where that second one come from, right? But oh well. I was one turn away. I just had to survive the turn, keep the 3 life, and I would have had that damage. But now you can see, how you could play out the cards and the orders to get the most results. Obviously, if I defended earlier in the beginning of the match, instead of trying to attack with Videl and what's his name? Well, attacking with Goku wasn't a problem. It was the Videl that I should have tried to attack with earlier, because it was easy to combo her attack. But well, that's the end of the video.